Right. Excuse me a second, let me drink some water. Do you want some yurt? Yurt is too much of a stuffed animal to drink water. But if you're not a stuffed animal and you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're alive, so you should drink some water. So I think I'm ready. Here we go. Our deck is a party member deck. We have 2 clerics, 5 rogues, 6 warriors, and 5 wizards. So a very, very healthy mix of party members. Hopefully we can do something cool with Nimble Trapfinder to draw tons of cards. We have a sneaking guide to help us get some of our weaker creatures in. On our top end, we do have things like Akum Warrior, Minotaur, and the Seagate Colossus to kick some butt. Of course, Synchronized Spellcraft can help us get creatures out of the way. We have Thundering Rebuke, 2 Sizzling Barrages, and a Royal Eruption. Those are our kill spells. We have some wizards that can, you know, fly over our opponent's heads, flying over here and flying over here. We have a Scorch Rider, just solid bodies, can come in with haste. More flying creatures. Seafood Stalker also has evasion, and that's pretty much it. The cards we chose not to keep in our deck, Risen Riptide, we only had one really kicker payoff card, which was Risen Riptide, so it wasn't enough of a plan for me to include it. We had 2 copies of Shell Shield because, you know, we had the Risen Riptide, but again, not enough payoff, so 1 copy of Shell Shield is all we're going to rely on to protect our creatures. Cinderclasm, I decided not to do it because Cinderclasm actually blows up most of our own creatures. And there we have it. Party member deck, red-blue. Let's go. We watched, what did we watch? We just watched The Purge on, I think it was Hulu? Yeah, The Purge. Seasons 1 and 2, it's the show. I haven't watched the movies. I wish I had access to movies. Ooh, this is an awful hand. We have a blue part of our deck, but we only have red mana. However, all of our spells are red. So it's really risky to keep it, but it's our first game, so let's go with it. The Purge Seasons 1 and 2 was... Oh no. Oh no, it's not good. So we basically have drawn all of our mountains and none of our blue mana sources, so if we don't draw a blue mana source within the next 2 turns, we are going to be drawing dead for half of our deck, which, of course, if half of your deck are cards you can't play, you are going to lose very quickly. Wow, alright, I see how this deck is treating me. We will discard... Well, I guess I have to discard a mountain. Ooh, okay. At least that can go in as a blue mana source. So that's that. Our opponent attacks here. We don't want to lose both our creatures here, so we will just let the 1 damage go. If he pumps, that means our opponent can't play any other spells this turn, so we're fine with that. However, it looks like they do have something they want to play. Alright, so with the blue source, we are sitting much nicer, so let's just attack with everything and see what happens. However, yeah, let's just attack and see what happens. Let's see what our opponent has. Spikefield Hazard, alright. There was nothing in our hand that could have saved that anyway, so let's go with that. Ambusher is fine with me. I take 1 damage. Visionary allows our opponents to draw a card, so that's pretty good. Alright, so we still don't have enough mana to play anything, so we can play Cleric of Chill Depths here. And yeah, nothing else we can do here. Fortunately, we still have 2 party members. We have a rogue, we have a cleric. We're about to have a wizard or a warrior enter the battlefield, so that's pretty solid. Our opponent attacks with the larger creature. We can double block and get rid of it, but I don't think that's necessary. We do have the Synchronized Spellcraft. Spitfire Legak comes in. Our opponent drops a land, deals 1 damage to us. We are running low on resources here. Ooh, Shell Shield could do some damage. We have 5 mana now, which allows us to do Synchronized Spellcraft. We can deal 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage to our opponent. Or we can get our wizard out first. Oh boy. Yeah, I guess I'll have to get my wizard out first. It's kind of a shame. With all of the new DMCA business going on with the social media platforms like YouTube and Twitch, I'm just starting, so I literally have no idea what can get me flagged for a copyright strike. I mean, I'm such a small channel right now, I don't think that makes too much of a difference, but I've heard from people giving advice that if, you know, DMCA strikes are appearing on content creators' older videos as well, so that's why you gotta be careful. So I guess my question is, if I'm just humming or whistling random sounds, does that count? I mean, it's very strange, very strange. Ooh, Sizzling Barrage can get us somewhere. Don't have anything to deal with the Pyroclastic Hellion, unfortunately. Oh, we are not drawing what we need. I suppose we'll have to deal 4 damage to the lizard. Let's see what our opponent attacks with. Okay, our opponent is going for the full gamut. So what can we do here? Shell Shield can keep our wizard alive. We can chump block the Hellion so that it remains blocked, but then we end up taking a whole bunch of damage from there. If I play Synchronized Spellcraft to get rid of the Spitfire Legak, I can block the Visionary, I suppose. Chump block that. Really don't have any good options here, to be honest. So let's just blow something up. Chill Depths, and yeah, I suppose we'll have to block with that guy. I think actually that was a miscalculation. I could have used Synchronized Spellcraft to get rid of the Pyroclastic Hellion, but our opponent has Sizzling Barrage anyway, so none of that mattered. Now we have 6 mana, so we can at least get a slightly bigger creature out to save our hide. Just in case we need to panic block, we will leave that behind. It's gonna take a lot for us to stabilize here, so unfortunately... Ooh, what did I just do? It's not looking too good. So we will indeed have to block here. Our opponent basically has drafted the exact same hand, and we are dead in the water here because there's not much we can do with just the Zulaport Duelist. Our Shell Shield gives +0/+3, but that leaves us 1, so that's not going to help us anyway. So let's just do this. Let's see if our opponent spends mana pumping that up, which is fine. So I'll just play Shell Shield here. I guess I could have done Zulaport Duelist against the Pyroclastic Hellion, but I think that's going to be the end for us. We did not draw what we needed, unfortunately. Well, I mean, technically, the Ambusher is scarier now, so... Thundering Rebuke comes too late, so that's the end of that. There might have the mistake that I made of not trying to get rid of the Pyroclastic Hellion. I guess did come back to bite us. We could have chump blocked some of the other the weaker creatures afterwards. So I suppose that was a bunch of misplays. But hey, it's been a while since I've played. But here we go. On to the next one. So what happens when you get rusty? When you spend all of your time learning how to do video editing and getting YouTube advice from other YouTubers and not playing Magic cards, you get rusty. Your Detroit's doing okay? Ah, okay. Much more reasonable looking hands. Still not a lot of power. But hey, I guess we have to go with it. Our opponent says hello, so we say hello right back. We gotta be polite, even on the internet. Have to be polite. Cleric of Chill Depths is an excellent option to have come up. Let's attack for 1 first, just to see what our opponent has. Our opponent lets it through, so we will cast Cleric of Chill Depths and give it a go. I'm very curious to see what our opponent has. With 2 mana in colors that aren't blue or red, to have an instant is a little bit strange. Could be Kabiri Takedown, maybe? But not sure why our opponent considered so long then. Maybe he's just never seen anyone use Sneaking Guide. Alright, so our opponent gets rid of either our Wizard or our Burn spell. Gets rid of our Burn spell. Not too big of an issue because we have the Royal Mage that can get it back anyway. So here we will just drop another island, get our Flyer Wizard here, and attack for 2. I am very far away from kicking this. I still need I still need 3 more mana to kick that. Ooh, I should change my my banner here. This is red white, no, red blue party power. Yeah, let's call it party power. Okay, our opponent has a core celebrant. That doesn't do very much for them, in my opinion. So we will play the Fisher Mage first. Wow, I can loot twice? Okay. Discard a card. Do need a lot of mana to cast that card. I can't drop both my lands. Alright, let's discard the island for now. And then I can discard the Royal Mage, I guess. I'd rather keep my big creature. Shell Shield's not a bad trade for that. And here we can attack with everything. Well, not everything, but yeah, these two guys. Which is fine with me. Not sure if that was a good idea. Because now I'm not actually anywhere near 6 mana. Maybe I looted too aggressively, because if I don't draw lands, I'm in trouble, because now I have just gotten a card that gets stuck in my hand. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. Making tons of mistakes, because if I hit 6 mana, I could have just cast Tazium Royal Mage to get Synchronized Spellcraft, and that's clearly a solid plan. Instead of waiting for a 4/5 Trampler, that's not actually going to do me very much if I don't have kill spells to get things out of my way anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to count that as yet another mistake. Our opponent wants to come in and sacrifice a creature. Okay, which is fine with me. I have a bunch of wizards already, so I don't need my wizards. We can still attack for 2. Our opponent is gaining 1 life per turn, unfortunately. Alrighty. Our opponent is attacking, so I guess we won't block. That's the obvious thing to do. Ooh, okay. We have our other flip land, Wizard. Which at this point might be better if we stop waiting for this guy and just go for our Wizard. And here we can just attack with everything. We do have the Shell Shield to protect us if our opponent does anything weird here. Practice Tactics is fine, but again, we have the Shell Shield, so we do need to protect our flyer. And we can draw a card and discard a card, so yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Zulport Duelist, we don't need, we would rather have the Yumara Wizard, so we will discard the Duelist. Our opponent could have multiple copies of that, I suppose, but he goes for the expensive Skyclave Shadowcat. Pretty annoying if you ask me. Alright, let's get the Wizard in play. I will draw a card and discard a card because the Zulport Duelist is kind of useless, but a mountain is more useless to us, so let's get rid of the mountain. And here we can just attack with our Wizard. Opponent plays Smite the Monstrous. And attacks with a 3/3. So we won't block that. Zulaport Duelist can slow him down next turn, so we will leave it at that. That's 7 for kick, and we can just kill it outright, actually. So, sacrifice it, put a 1/1 counter on it. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and kill it now, because our opponent doesn't have enough mana. Ooh, oh, never mind. That I already used our creatures already. That I thought that would have given it flying as well. But I guess we're discarding another mountain. Good thing we're filtering out all of our lands here. We do not want to be stuck with that many lands. And since our opponent doesn't have that very many threats, we will go ahead and make our Cleric of Chill Depths unblockable and attack for 3 damage. And we still have a panic button Zulaport Duelist here in case... I don't know what our opponent can do that will make this card all that relevant, but hey, maybe they will. Ooh, Relic Golem. It's kind of scary. We have 10 cards in our graveyard, so that is a very, very cheap 6/6 creature our opponent just got. Opponent attacks for 1. What can we do? Nothing. Our turn, we draw Expedition Diviner. It has flying, so that's pretty solid. We'll get our flying creature in here. And once again, we can loot, which is fine because the Zulaport Duelist isn't something we particularly care about again. And we get more lands. Wow. Stop giving me lands, please. I've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 lands already. I guess that's actually right on stats. Our opponent has another Core Celebrant. Alright, that's kind of lucky. Wow. So our opponent gains 1,000,000 life. Our opponent attacks with those 2, so what we can do here is cast Zulaport Duelist, and we should be able to block Cleric of Depths over here. The Cleric's gonna die anyway, so we Zulaport the Core Celebrant. Mill our opponent for 2. We block the Golem so it can't attack again. And then we triple block this guy to kill it. Triple block is overkill, but you know. Ooh, we get another copy of Cleric of Chill Depths, which is excellent. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 2 flying creatures here that can deal 5 damage, which is great news for us. We don't care about the 2 damage there. We do want to do as much damage as possible, so maybe I sneak in the Duelist here to get in an extra 1. Maybe I enter full control here. And then I give the duelists unblockable. Eight damage. Basically, we are hurrying up here. We want to get there. We do have another Cleric of Chill Depths, so that should stall our opponent's Golem yet again. Unless our opponent finds an answer for that. You're the turret. Relic Golem. I think this is the first time I've seen Relic Golem be able to attack in an actual draft game. Vanquish the weak. Alright, goes for a Diviner. I'm not sure why they would choose to do that. I would have killed the Windrider Wizard instead. I do get to draw a card now. Nimble Trapfinder. Rogue, Wizard. Oh, we don't have a Warrior. But that's okay, we can play it for now. Or actually, let's attack. Ah, crap. It's so much easier. Full control. Make Zulaport Duelist unblockable. Autopay. Resolve. Get in for another 3 damage. We still have a blocker, and we can play Trapfinder. Trapfinder can start drawing us more cards next turn, and get us more damage in as well. Actually, at this point, even if he attacks with the Relic Golem, I don't even need to attack, or I don't need to block it. I'll just attack with everything else next turn and hopefully get the win. But of course, our opponent gains a whole bunch of life again. Let's see what's coming up. Relic Golem is aiming to mill me? Okay. I guess that's fine. I can just have Seafood Stalker out here. I can... I'm not sure why my opponent is saying good game. I haven't won just yet. Unless our opponent is out of outs. If our opponent is out of outs, that is kind of fine. So our Trapfinder... Oh, wait. No, we still can only do 6 damage. So again, not sure why our opponent is congratulating us just yet. Next combat here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can block all of them. I don't want to draw a card. That's cutting it close. Screw it. Let's go for it. Oh, I don't get to draw a card. Oh, interesting. It just becomes unblockable. I don't get to draw a card until okay. Opponent gets protection from blue. Okay. So 6, 9. Well, I don't want to lose, so I don't need the Chill Depths if I'm going to win next turn. I don't need this creature to win next turn. Unless our opponent gains 1,000,000 life. So 8. I don't think he can get +6 with that mana, so I'll leave it at this. Because our opponent can still technically play a creature and gain themselves a bunch of life, so we want to make sure they don't survive that, and that's why we don't want to necessarily sacrifice our Seafood Stalker in case they do have some sort of weird combat trick. And yeah, with 8 damage, taking 8 damage, I don't think there's any 3-mana card that can deal 6 damage to us, so I think we are good here. I think we're good, but I am not sure. Not sure, not sure, not sure. Has our opponent decided to rope us? Because that's what's happening? Yes. So, maybe they're waiting for me to return their good game. I mean, they good gamed really early, so that's why I didn't say it back. I wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but I didn't know what spells he had in his hand. I don't know what spell they have in their deck. For all I know, they could still be very much winning. So once again, our opponent is roping us. That's cool, that's cool. We will have to wait it out. Wait it out, wait it out. Our deck is kind of fun to play. We don't have really any cards that completely dominate the board or anything. We just get in with a lot of annoying damage. Sizzling Barrage, Royal Eruption, Fissure Wizard, Synchronized, Thundering Rebuke. Got some removal spells, so to speak. And the rest is all just dinky creatures that give you evasion. I'm surprised we didn't see our warriors more. Oh, one of them got milled here. Yeah, we only have one warrior. Alright, so our opponent finally concedes. Very, very inconsiderate of them. But maybe their cat is on fire. Who knows? So we will just move on. On to the next, we are 1-1. Let me update that. And here we go, Zulpur Duelist, Sneaking Guide, and the Minotaur. So, we only have rogues for the Minotaur so far, and our opponent's going first again. Man, can we have one game where we go first? Okay, our opponent starts with the blue mana. The Fissure Wizard is a wizard, so that's good news for us. our Minotaur will get that much cheaper. Cleric of Chill Depths comes out. It's pretty nice for our opponent here. Get our Fissure Wizard out. We will loot. We will discard a card. Suppose I'll discard the Shell Shield here because I do need the lands. And we draw another land, so now I regret everything. Yeah, I guess in limited, the correct choice would have been to keep the Shell Shield and drop a land, because if you're running the standard 17 land default in a 40 card deck, you do have a reasonably high chance of drawing a land every turn throughout the entire game. It's almost 50-50 pretty much the entire time, so... Okay, our opponent has a 2/4 cleric. Alright, I guess I'll take 2 damage, that's fine with me. Little does our opponent know, we have Zulaport Duelist. So let's drop another mountain. And of course I draw another land, so throwing our Shell Shield away has now turned into a horrific idea. Zulaport Duelist is cool. Going for our Fissure Wizard, but we have our own Zulaport Duelist. And of course our opponent bins our best removal cards from our deck because that's just our luck. So yeah, I think I'll block here and waste their spells if they have a spell. Another Zulaport Duelist, alright. So not... Are you kidding me? All 4 of my burn spells are gone just because... So when wizards decide to mess with you, I guess they go all out. So yeah, here we are. Oh, it has haste. Oops, forgot this thing has haste. But I am slightly behind, so I guess I won't complain too much. Glacial Grasp, okay. Fine with me. I can take 2 damage, no problem. Yeah, let's play our wizard. Won't attack here. Living Tempest is kind of annoying. It does have flying. Sizzling Barrage can deal 4 damage. Instant sorcery spell. Okay, so I can't give it flying until it's already been blocked. So let's see what happens if we attack with these 2 creatures. Our opponent takes 9 damage. Okay, I'm fine with that. Can't take too many 9 damage turns. Another Living Tempest. That's kind of scary. We take 3 damage, which is fine. We draw more lands yet again, of course. That's just how my life works. 9 damage, 11. We have 11 on board, technically. Our opponent has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Theoretically, though, if I do make our Fissure Wizard unblockable, I should attack with everything, and the Cleric of Chill Depth should need to block. So let's go ahead and go all in here. That is 11 on the board, so they'll have to block at least one creature. Okay, so our wizard can't untap next step, but we have Sizzling Barrage here for the cleric. So at least it does not meet its demise. However, we are facing down 7 damage here. Yeah, yep, our opponent just needs to attack with both, yep, and then return target. Do I have anything? Thundering Rebuke? Do I have enough though? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 mana. I think I actually do. That's 8 damage. All right. So we're going to do this kicker. We are going to get Thundering Rebuke here. We will play it and kill the Visionary. And then we will attack for 8. Exact damage. Exact damage. Got lucky there with the top deck on Tazim Royal Mage, is that card called? Oops. Oh, didn't mean to do that. But hey, we did it! That is 2-1. Let us update our text. 2-1. On to the next. Yazgmash is our opponent. Ooh, okay, a much more varied opening. We do have a flip land in the wizard, so we technically have 3 lands in our hand. And once again, our opponent is going first. So that's 4 games in a row that our opponent has gone first. What is up with that? Let's take a risk here and use this as a land. We do have some mana sinks in play already, so I would rather not get blocked for turn 4 mana. So here we can discard a card, but maybe we don't need that. Let's go Trapfinder. No, let's our opponent is playing green, so I feel pretty confident that our Trapfinder isn't just going to randomly get destroyed if I start with the Nimble Trapfinder, and it is more aggressive. So now I'm kind of scared because our opponent hasn't played anything, which means all they have in their hand are large creatures. So let's see what happens if I just attack with this 2-1. Nothing happens, which is fine, so I will cast Seafood Stalker now. Seafood Stalker, we have 2 rogues here. Our opponent still plays nothing, which is very strange. So here we are. We will get Cleric of Chill Depths out. Rogue. Warrior. wizard, cleric. So we need the cleric. We need the wizard. I suppose I don't need this wizard anymore. And we draw a land, which is excellent. That land will allow us to cast Synchronized Spellcraft. Ooh, our opponent finally draws the black mana that they needed. So let's see what is coming up now. Iridescent Beetle is just a 3/4, so I'm not concerned about that at all. I can have a full party and draw a card. Or I can just blow it up and hit our opponent while they're down. I think that's a good idea. That's already a ton of damage and even more damage on board. So I'm not sure what happened with our opponent's deck here, honestly. I think they kept a risky hand. I don't know of any cards that rely on double black. I don't think it's possible to have your entire hand rely on having 2 black mana. So yeah, when your opponent plays 6 lands and 1 creature, I honestly don't know what happened. Okay, none of that makes any difference to us. We can play this guy. Yeah, actually we don't even need to use Kicker. We just regular cast our Scorch Rider. Our Nimble Trapfinder already is unblockable. We can make our Seafood Stalker unblockable. And then we just attack with both creatures. They are unblockable, so we take the victory. Alright, not sure what happened with our opponent here. But hey, I'm not gonna complain about a free win. (3-1). On to the next. Gotta do the happy yurt dance for free win. Whoa! That's as much exercise as yurt is going to get today, because I don't think we're going to get that many free wins. Opponent goes first. Ooh. Alright, we have a lot of removal spells, but we have pretty much none of our party members that we want. I don't know, the Trapfinder is going to keep us alive long enough, and our opponent is going first yet again, so I guess we'll just keep it and go with it. And hopefully we'll draw some party members. Seafood Stalker, nice, from our opponent. I can cast Royal Mage and make it unblockable. That way I can see what other threats are coming in and develop the board. So yeah, let's go ahead with the Royal Mage here. Doesn't look like I'm hitting 6 mana anytime soon, so waiting for it will be will take too long. Rogue and a wizard, rogue and a wizard. Cascade Seer. Alright, they get to scry for 2. One top is not good for us. Ooh, okay, we see the land. So we can get Scorch Rider to get us up to 3 party members, and our Seagate Colossus is now large. We can attack with our Trapfinder. So we definitely don't want any of our creatures to die right now. They might have smite the big creature thing. I'll take 3, that's fine with me. Getting in the Seagate Colossus would be quite excellent here, unless our opponent has a counterspell. They do not, and our Trapfinder once again is unblockable. We are missing the Cleric. We are missing the Cleric to make our Nimble Trapfinder hilarious and draw us cards. Our opponent has Living Tempests. So that's definitely going to get the Roiling Eruption. But our opponent has a lot of mana, so it's... Ooh, okay. Draw 2 cards, draw 3 cards instead. Okay, so our opponent draws a whole bunch of cards. So we don't have enough mana to take advantage of that quite yet. We can have a lot of hilarious combat tricks if we leave 1 blue open. And Royal Eruption is a sorcery. Diviner gets us a flying creature and is a wizard. We can block the Tempest. So maybe... what we want to do is attack with the Seagate Colossus and see how our opponent responds. We'll attack with our biggest creatures and see how our opponent responds. We can get Zulaport Duelist in to mess up their plan. Our opponent will pay for that block. And with this in mind, with the board the way it is, I think I'm definitely going to cast Roiling Eruption on the Living Tempest. I don't want to deal with a flying creature. And our opponent is tapped out, so it's a prime opportunity to cast that, particularly because Royal Eruption is a sorcery. Okay, so our opponent once again is clogging up the board, which is fine with me. We still have Thundering Rebuke, so once again we can do the exact same thing. Or we can just sacrifice this creature. We do have another warrior. We can instantly replace it, and we can keep Thundering Rebuke for afterwards. So let's get rid of that as is, and we will just drop our Expedition Diviner. Ooh, okay, so our opponent gains a whole bunch of life. I'm glad I saved my Thundering Rebuke here. Field Research. Draws our opponents a bunch more cards, but they are tapped out. So, actually here we just cast Synchronized Spellcraft onto the Angel, because our opponent is tapped out. And then we are pretty much free to attack with these two. Oh, actually, we can just attack with everything, and then our opponent has to block, and they will be left with no creatures next turn. So yeah, we on this attack, there's no reason to not attack with everything. If they block one of the weaker creatures that the Core Celebrant can kill, they will instantly lose to Seagate Colossus and Expedition Diviner. So in reality, our opponent had one choice to block, which was to block the Seagate Colossus, but then they would still lose 2, 3, 4, 5 damage from all the unblocked creatures. So you definitely want to consider your combat calculations. Such. 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. That's pretty good. And on to the next. And once again, I love to hum, but with all of this DMCA stuff, I don't even know if I'm allowed to hum even just random noises. It's so sad. What I can do is try and do the stream soundtrack. I think I tried that one time. I'll have to try that afterwards. Maybe after this draft, I will go offline, set that up, and go online again. All right, 2 creatures, and we're going first. Hopefully we're playing against black, so our Trapfinder is almost instantly going to die. So I send them out first because if they don't have anything to block, we can... Well, that's kind of scary, actually. Actually, I kind of want our opponent to block this at this point. Yeah, let's attack with 2 and see how our opponent responds. Okay, our opponent obviously does not block. They are intelligent, so let's go Cleric of Chill Depths. Ooh, that's 2. Cleric of Life's Bond is excellent. Excellent way to stall. Sea Colossus is excellent as well for us. So we definitely don't want anything to die now. We do have Sizzling Barrage here. Yeah, I think I don't have any instants or sorceries in my hand right now, or Sizzling Barrage actually technically is, but if I do this next turn, I can get Seagate Colossus out. If our opponent blocks here, I guess I will have to kill it, but our opponent does not, so definitely Seagate Colossus coming out next turn. Okay, gains life. We are losing a whole bunch of damage. So our opponent has a very, very well-tuned deck, in my opinion. We see the warrior here now. So our Trapfinder will draw us cards, which is excellent. Oh wow, our opponent... We'll give our opponent a nice for this one. Our opponent not only drafted a perfectly viable strategy here, but they actually assembled it in the God draw. Like, look at how they curved out. They have had 0 misplays except for the first turn where they just dropped a land. And then it was Fearless Fledging into the Cleric, into Marauding Blight Priest, into the Aspirant, into the Blood Priest. Absolutely devastating. I don't think I have a chance in heck now. So Yeah, next turn they just play a land and I lose. So I definitely need to draw a card, and hopefully it's enough. We don't have enough to threaten lethal, so the best I can do here really is to just lose. Yeah, our opponent just needs a land to win. Alright, we do get to draw a card, however, it is just a hasty Minotaur, which is not what we needed. So next turn we can win. But not quite this turn. Yep, and there's the 7/7, and we will give them the good game because they drew the God Hand of their deck. You can't feel bad losing to decks that do that, so wow. Good for our opponent. They did it. They drafted a fun deck and drew the God Hand. Solid, solid, solid. And we are at 4-2. Do a bit of dancing. With Yurt the Turk. Seat. Our opponent is Seat. Okay, so I suppose it was time for us to draw a horrible hand, and here it is. We only have our high end of the deck, so we can do nothing here. So we will mulligan into something that's actually worse. I didn't know that would be possible. Our opponent's going first. Mulliganing to 5 is a death sentence. So we are going first. And we only really need one island to survive, I guess. So let's dump the Scorch Rider and hope for an island. So I dumped the Scorch Rider because it's not going to come in until turn 4 anyway, and if we don't draw an island by then, we would lose. So having the island, or we were so reliant on drawing an island. Oops. Whoops, I did not mean to play that just then. What I meant to say is, like, we were so reliant on drawing an island, it did not matter that, I guess I'll show them 2 mountains. And we draw another mountain. Who would have thought? It did not matter. Yeah, so like I was saying, it did not matter that I threw away the only red card, even though we had only red mana in our opening hand. It was because by the time we get to turn 4, we don't draw an island. The rest of our hand is going to be dead, and we would lose anyway. So that wasn't what I was banking for, and since we were already banking so heavily on getting blue mana, dumping the Scorch Rider was the better idea. So we are on the defensive, so I believe we do want to get the Cleric of Chill Depths out first. Even though that is not the most mana efficient, that is something we are forced to do. Taking 1 damage from the flyer is fine. Ooh, Roiling Eruption is excellent. However, here we can draw a card if you do discard a card. Now, let's get our flyer, our bigger flyer out first and leave it as is. Our opponent has 3 party members, which is kind of scary. Skyclave Sentinel comes out. Rolling Eruption, we can do Wind Rider Wizard here. So we can loot. Oh, oops. So whenever, oh. Well, that doesn't help, because if I draw a card now, that's not going to help me. However, if I blow up the Sentinel, I can attack with the Expedition Diviner, so maybe I just go ahead and do that. Decline to draw a card. I don't want to just throw cards into my graveyard. So we'll attack with the flyer. So we had a horrible start, but our opponent is stuck on 3 mana. We got a Sneaking Guide out here, which is great. Here I will just attack with Expedition Diviner, not the Wizard, because our opponent does have mana open. Yep, the Practice Tactics, that's exactly why I did that, because if that creature dies, we still get to draw a card, which is fine. Akum Warrior is nice, but not exactly what we're looking for. So let's attack with this guy and this guy and see how our opponent responds. Our opponent is playing it very conservatively, which is fine with me. And I can't cast that as a warrior yet, so I will end my turn now. A Myriad Captain is excellent. Is now a huge flyer. That has vigilance, unfortunately. Ooh, Zulaport Duelist comes out. Still not enough. Our opponent has vigilance, so there's no reason for them to attack with that. Or block with it. We can't block it, so we might as well have attacked with that. And our opponent is drawing what they need, while we are not. So that's not nice. Guess we'll have to cast the Zulaport Duelist here just to survive a little bit. We have the Minotaur. Still not going to be enough. Seven damage goes through. So if our opponent doesn't have a pump spell, oh nope, they just got the Banneret, so that's a good game. So that's the 5 plus 6 and 7. So, yep. If our opponent did not draw a land, we might have had a chance next turn because we do have the sneaking guide here. We don't have any blockers, so our opponent just pumps, and then we lose. And that's that. Four 3. Yeah, I guess I had fun in this match. Why not? That wasn't too bad. We didn't draw what we were hoping to draw, but our deck hung in there for a little bit, so we had some fun. Oh no, Yurt! Yurt, come back! Yurt! Alright, here we go. Let's claim this prize. 450, Zendikar Rising, 1 booster. And that was that.